Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. I appreciate you clicking on that video as always. And we're doing another weekly wears video. I go over every fragrance for every day that I wore last week, all 7 days. Without further ado, let's get right into the list. A couple months ago, this first scent that I wore on Sunday, I was actually lucky enough to get for an unbelievable deal. It was, from what I remember, I want to say it was under $20 on fragrancebuy.ca. It was a limited sort of release, and they had a bunch of bottles that had sustained damage. Bottle I got, lucky enough, only had some nicks and scratches on the paint. Juice was perfect. Scent I'm talking about, Abercrombie & Fitch's Fierce Intense. Fierce Intense is going to rustle up all those memories of going to the mall in the late 90s, early 2000s, and even today, you can still go to the mall where there's an Abercrombie and be able to smell this scent from 300 yards away. It's a signature sort of timeless scent. It is very close to Mont Blanc's Legend. That's more of, I guess, the modern day version of this. However, in terms of scent profile, they're very close. Along with Mont Blanc's Legend and Parfums de Marly's Percival, they're all modeled after this scent. This is the intense version, and I would say it's definitely intense. It's strong up top. When you first spray this, it can be overwhelming. You don't want to overspray this because it is a really good performer. I'm getting around 8 hours on this. However, the projection is excellent for the first 2 hours. And really, for most of the day, I'm getting wafts of this. The main thing I get from this is a sweet musk. It's a bit green. Musk, watermelon, sea notes, wheat, white ginger, lily, cashmere. These are some notes that are listed on Fragrantica. However, when I smell this, I just get Abercrombie & Fitch Fierce. It's a typical cologne to my nose, and it is an eau de cologne concentration. However, don't let that make you think that it's not a performer. As I said, this is a fantastic performer. This can come across as youthful. However, I think any guy can wear this. To me, it's very barbershop fougere with a modern twist to it. In my opinion, this does not smell dated. However, a lot of people tie this scent to different memories. In the late 90s, early 2000s, and even today, you can still smell this. So some might think that this is a bit dated because it might remind them maybe something their dad wore or whatever. But I still think to this day, this scent is fantastic. Wore it on Sunday, Abercrombie & Fitch's Fierce Intense. On Monday, I went with an absolute summer staple in my collection. I included this one in fragrances that I typically wear to the gym just because it's so damn easy to grab. It's so fresh and alive, in my opinion. Scent I'm talking about, Versace Pour Homme. Versace Pour Homme, it's floral, it's citrusy, it's aromatic. I prefer Versace Pour Homme with a scent like Chanel's L'Homme Sport and Missoni Wave, which is getting a wave of hype, no pun intended, as of late, and I enjoy that scent. However, this one to me is the one that there's just something about this one that stands out for me when comparing it to those other two. And I just like this one more. This is my favorite of the three personally. I like that I get more of the rose in this than I do in those other two. I get more of the florals. However, Versace Pour Homme has this sort of fizziness to it, this sort of brightness and effervescence to it that I just love about it. And as you can see from the bottle, I mean, this thing has a decent dent in it. I use this quite a bit, and probably one that I'll always have in my collection. What I do want to give a try that I really haven't used a lot that I know gets compared to this as well is Creed's Aventus Cologne. So I have tested it before, but I haven't worn it, and I'd be curious to see how it stacks up against this. What I have heard about that scent is that it smells too much like Aventus to justify owning it if you already own Aventus. So I haven't smelled it in a while. I'd like to give it a try, but this one, for what you can get it for, great value, perfect scent for the summer, will be super versatile, compliment getter, smells fantastic, it's timeless. I mean, this checks all the boxes for me. Versace Pour Homme. On Tuesday, I went with a blue fragrance that, in my opinion, is the best blue fragrance that you can get for the money. Scent I am talking about, Dunhill Century Blue. Another one that gets a lot of wear for me. I even wear this thing to bed sometimes. I think the reason I like wearing it to bed is because it's super calming to me. It has sort of an ambery feel. This is a unique blue fragrance. You still get the pepperiness that you would get, the ambroxan feel from a blue fragrance, but it's also warm and it has iris in this. And I don't pick up a ton of iris in terms of like thinking like Diorum Intense type iris. It's not that type of iris, but it does have sort of an element to it, a bit of a powderiness that I would not compare at all to, say, something like Acqua Senziale Blue from Salvatore Ferragamo. People compare the two. I think that's way more powdery than this. This is just a sweet blue fragrance, bit peppery, warm and spicy, has a unique twist to it that it's hard to describe. You really need to give it a try. As I said, best valued blue fragrance on the market, in my opinion. Fantastic scent, Dunhill Century Blue. So this next scent, and as you guys know, if you've watched your channel, if you've been a subscriber for a long time and have watched my videos since the beginning, I've been talking about this fragrance, and I don't own a lot of dupes. I don't own a lot of clones or inspired bys. I do own this one. I absolutely love this scent. I think it's incredible. Comes from the House of Alexandria. Scent I'm talking about is Royal Equestrian. Fruitiness, apple, pretty realistic apple when you first spray this on. This is inspired by Parfums de Marly's Leighton, which is another fragrance that I absolutely love. I'm a bigger fan of Leighton Exclusive. As a matter of fact, I would say that Royal Equestrian sort of sits in between Leighton Exclusive and Leighton, because I think you get a little more of the dirtiness from Leighton Exclusive, a little more of that, for lack of a better term, that barnyardiness, that little bit of skank shows up in Royal Equestrian. It's mainly in the first hour or so. Then it dries down into sort of this beautiful woody vanilla, very similar to Leighton's dry down. Just an incredible scent. This lasts all day. I wore it on a super hot day, and I will be honest, it may have been too hot. I think this is a really versatile fragrance. I think you can wear this really any time of year in any situation. However, I think in really high heat, if you're out in the sun, it gets a little cloying. So keep that in mind, number of sprays and how hot it is out. In terms of performance, again, strong performer. I get around 10 hours of performance from this. Lasts all day long. Lasts forever on close. Forever in a day on close. Incredible scent. Fantastic value. I really want to kind of dive into this house a bit more. Again, I'm not a massive fan of clones or dupes. I think that always try the original first or what it's inspired by. But if money is a concern and budget is a concern, put them side by side and put them through their paces. Grab a decant of the more pricey original and a decant of this if you can. There are definitely people that decant out Alexandria fragrances. You can even get, I believe, you can get a like a tester set from their website. So I'll have to look into that because I do want to sort of explore this house more. Absolutely love this one, Royal Equestrian from Alexandria. So this next scent needs no introduction, but I'm going to give it one anyways. This is some Boss shit. Okay? Love this scent. Will forever be in my collection. Timeless, masculine Boss scent. Scent I'm talking about, Creed's Green Irish Tweed. So I got this as a gift on Father's Day and I sprayed heavy. I went maybe 20 sprays and I am confident spraying this one heavy. I love it. Lemon verbena, iris, violet leaf, sandalwood, and of course, Creed's signature ambergris note that is in many of their fragrances and just ups the quality like tenfold. Will remind you of Cool Water. However, when you smell this, if you smelled this next to Cool Water, I mean, it's not even close quality-wise. Night and day. I like Cool Water, so I'm not trying to take anything away from Cool Water. I like the older formulations more because I think some of the newer formulations, they just don't smell great on my skin personally. I don't own a bottle of the newer formulation. I do have an older, smaller, like 15 mil from the early 90s in my collection of the original Cool Water, and that one's fantastic, performs great. The lemon verbena in this, when I first smelled Green Irish Tweed for the first time, it smelled like an open green field, rolling hills, like I was in Ireland, fresh cut grass, the most natural smelling, authentic, just smelled incredible. And I absolutely love this one. Again, when I want to get crap done, when I want to feel like a boss, when I need to put my sort of business hat on, wore this one on Thursday, Creed's Green Irish Tweed. So Friday's scent, I started thinking about it when I was sort of going over what I wore last week and preparing for the video, and I said, man, I've talked about this fragrance quite a bit on this channel, And I said, let me think about it. This is a new fragrance, came out just this year. And without question, of all the fragrances that I bought, that I've tested, that I've tried, that have been 2022 releases, this one is by far my favorite release of 2022. The scent I'm talking about is Dolce & Gabbana's Light Blue Italian Love. Incredible grapefruit up top, rindy grapefruit, bitter sweetness. It's almost not sweet, but there is a bit of a sweetness to it because it is so rindy, it is so bitter. As it dries down, I get a little bit more sweetness from it, but not much. It's ozonic. It also has violet leaf in this, so you get that sort of aquatic feel to it. It's salty. It's ocean spray with that grapefruit. And the grapefruit's incredible. It is close to Light Blue Forever. However, I enjoyed this one more personally. I feel like it just has more going on than Light Blue Forever. And Light Blue Forever is a great scent, but as I've said in other videos, fragrances that don't evolve much for me, that are sort of just one note, they really don't do it for me that often. Fantastic performance from this. This is a summer gem, but this is something that I'll also be wearing in the fall and even the winter time because it is an addictive scent to me. I find myself sort of thinking about this fragrance and saying, I want to smell it. I want to go spray it in the air. I want to smell it from the atomizer. I want to put it on the back of my hand and just, even if I'm already wearing something else that day, I'm finding myself wanting to smell this more and more. Definitely, without question, my favorite release of 2022, Dolce & Gabbana's Light Blue Italian Love. So finally on Saturday, I went with a fragrance that I find myself just going back to over and over, and it's sort of a standby for me and just an incredible fragrance. Had a really sort of hyped up flanker release this year. I have not tried that flanker. However, I'm not in a rush to because I love this one so much, the original. And scent I am talking about is Mancera's Cedrat Boisé. Let me know in the comment section below if you guys have tried the intense version of Cedrat Boisé. I do plan on trying it at some point, but as I said, I'm not in a rush because I enjoy this one that much. This is really a perfect fragrance, in my opinion. I know people compare this to Creed Aventus. I don't think this smells like Creed Aventus. I truly don't. If you're looking at it through the lens of it, they're doing sort of the same thing or they fit the same sort of profile, then I can get it. It's fruity up top. It's a bit citrusy. It has some smokiness to it, some woodiness, right? Creed Aventus. Okay, I get that part, but it doesn't smell like Creed Aventus. This smells like Cedrat Boisé to me. This is an eau de parfum concentration, the 4 fluid ounce, 120 ml. And you can still get these for under $100 if you look hard enough. This is incredible value for your money. As this dries down, I get vanilla citrus with that woodiness and the smokiness. The day I wore this, I was complimented on it by a couple different people. An easy fragrance to grab. It works perfectly in the summer as it does in the wintertime. This thing is incredible. It works in every season. There are days where it's super hot and I'm like, you know, do I wear this? Because this can get smoky. There's a lot of smokiness to this fragrance. So, you know, on super hot days, I don't necessarily relate heat and smokiness together. I don't think they always work well, and vanilla. So, but this never gets cloying, it never gets overwhelming. It's just perfect in my opinion. Performance from me on this particular bottle has been great. It lasts really all day long for me. It is one that I enjoy the opening so much. Sometimes what I'll do is I'll carry a decant with me, and it's just because when you sort of re-up on this one, that opening is incredible. And the dry down is just as good. As I said, that vanillic dry down with the woodiness and almost a leather accord to it. Just incredible scent. Wore it on Saturday. Mancera's Cedrat Boisé. Guys, as always, let me know in the comment section below what your weekly rotation was. And if you didn't have a rotation, you just wore one fragrance all week, I want to know what that was too. Let me know in the comment section below. If you guys like what you saw today, it would mean everything if you hit that like button. Hitting that like button is going to help me get my videos in front of more people. It will help me with the YouTube algorithm. And that's my goal, is to grow this channel. So please share this video if you like what you saw. Hit that bell notification so you're updated whenever I upload new content. But until then, have a fantastic rest of your week, and I'll see you in the next video.